Good morning, everyone. How are we today? What lovely weather we've got at Birmingham this morning. It's a little bit damp and very grey and very overcast and also a little bit windy. So we just need to keep an eye on that. For those of you that are flying with me, VATSIM air traffic control is online, as is the ATIS, and I'm just double checking actually. The ATIS that we've got from VATSIM differs somewhat from the ATIS that is there in real life, which will probably also differ from the ATIS that Microsoft Flight Simulator would be providing us as well. So what we do need to do is, let me just give you, this is the real ATIS, the real METAR. Oh, where's that gone? I had that a moment ago. Let me give you this. Okay guys, so this is the current METAR for Birmingham. So as you can see, the rain, 8 kilometers visibility, winds 180 at 10. Now the VATSIM ATIS is also telling us that it is gusting up to 21, so we're still capable of taking off. That's no problem at all. We would perhaps need to just chat about what would happen if we had a problem and needed to return, but that will come in our departure briefing. The problem is as well, of course, that the weather all over the UK is pretty rubbish. So we could look to potentially nominate another airfield, another takeoff airfield. However, looking around some METARs around the UK at the moment, it's all pretty much of a muchness. So everything's pretty rubbish. Really, the gusts were very evident on landing yesterday. Once again, we managed to get it down and then just lose that rudder control. As soon as you touch down, the rudder seems to have a slight mind of its own, and you're fighting with it all the way down the runway. But there we are. Okay, guys, let me get rid of the chat. Let's jump into our flight deck and let's start setting up, shall we? And here we go, once again at the beautiful Maku Simulations Birmingham. So who have we got flying with us today? Who's right and left of us? I've not got any labels on. I actually don't know if that works actually. Obviously you can pop labels on, can't you, in the simulator? It shows you who is who. HD, perfect timing. So I was just briefly discussing the poor weather we've got. If we had a problem with an engine on departure, what we'd do, we've got gusts up to 21. Visibility isn't an issue, but the wind may be, so it wouldn't be an auto land if we came back here following our departure. So I don't think a alternate takeoff airport is required for this, and even if it was, it would have to be some way away because the weather around the UK is pants, in a word. Everywhere's wet, dull visibility and very low ceilings. My pilot to the right, Nick Burrows to the right. Good to see you. Willie, you had snow in Scotland last night. That doesn't surprise me one bit. Okay, so I'm going to go through and start setting up the overhead panel. For those of you that haven't yet got the operational flight plan for today, let me just give it to you. There we go. No takeoff needed with that visibility. That is fine, thank you. We also have a speed restriction on takeoff as well, which we'll talk about, as we had a good debrief with HD yesterday. We're going to have a look at the flight computer, see if there's anything we can do to help sort that out, so we don't have the same issues we did yesterday when leaving Keflavik. Alright, let me go through these flows. Let's get some power on. And also, let's see if I can get some ground services. Power supply, please.
Birmingham ground EasyJet20, could you please send a ground power unit?
EasyJet20, a ground power unit is on the road.
There's our ground power unit. Let's get you clicked in. Okay, so now we've got ground power. And we can go ahead as well and turn on the APU. I think it's 30 minutes here at Birmingham, APU running time. So I'd like to be out of here within half an hour. That shouldn't be an issue. Get the fuel pumps turned on, seatbelt signs, devices, and our emergency lights. Roy Keller, good morning. I've not seen you for a while, mate. Have you been busy? Engine fire test. We should also have done the APU fire test as well to be completely accurate. I'd like to know if they would ever fail in the simulator. Obviously they would do in the real ones. Okay, so that's our overhead panel. Let's come down here and have a look at the center. That's fine, and the anti-skid is on as well. Pedestal, cockpit door, switching panel, thrust levers, and transponder. Let's now get the jetway over here, and we'll also then have a look at completing the rest of the cockpit setup. HD, what have you noticed on the NOTAMs? Not got anything from VATSIM that's deemed very important at the moment. So if you're sat there reading through the NOTAMs as the PM, please enlighten us. Okay, let's start boarding our passengers.
Cabin crew, we can open the doors now and start letting them on board. Thanks very much.
Okay, no problem.
This is not the custom fly-by-wire version. If you're talking about the custom fly-by-wire controls, this is not that edition. Glare shield. Let's set one QNH 984. Nice and low. What's the name of the storm again that's passing over us? Storm Christoph or something like that, is it? Oh, the ILS only being Cat 1. Oh, fair enough. Thankfully, the visibility is not too bad once you've broken through the clouds, which the cloud base is 1,300 feet, according to Meta. But we will go ahead and have a look at that in a little bit more detail, because of course we want to see how the flight simulator is rendering things. And our initial climb out today, I believe, is 6,000 feet. Okay, so let's have a look at the instrument panels, get those sorted as well. Navigation display, IRS alignment in 6 minutes. And now we'll go and start to pull some things in from SimBrief as well. Andy, good morning. Air Trooper 37, good morning from Spain. Captain Sim, do you know how to invite the Nightbot to streams? I don't think he gets an invitation. I think you just tell him to appear. Have a read of their website. Believe me, if I can set it up, anybody can. Oh, I do wish there was a faster way to spin through these dials. 6, 5, 4. There we go. Okie dokies. Right, let's have a look at the flight management computer then. So let's pull this in from SimBrief. What do we have? ATSU, AOC menu, init press. Let's pull this in. There's a flight number from Birmingham to Faro, 2 hours 38 minutes. Time en route. HD, that is a very good point. There's going to be a big jump, isn't there, when we do go to standard. AOC menu, and now let's have a look at our performance, weights and balance, check all these have been brought through correctly. So let's just check these figures. I'm using a performance factor today for the fuel of -20. I didn't fancy the -25 again. Excuse me while I have a slurp of tea. Very nice. So plan block fuel is 7434. 7434, that is correct. So let's get that loaded. And let's have a look now at our passengers. So the payload today is 18720, 18720, zero fuel weight 59.7, 59.7, that is all correct. 180 passengers, we are full. It's all these people escaping lockdown. Don't think we're actually allowed to do that, are we, at the minute? Cabin crew are fighting with the doors again. So that's those loaded, and a gross weight now of 67 tons. Takeoff weight 60 is also... I don't think we're going to burn a little bit more than 46 kilograms of fuel in the taxi. Mind you, maybe not. Maybe not in this aircraft. PG tips. Oh, wash your mouth out. It's Yorkshire, good old Yorkshire tea, and not just any Yorkshire tea. This is toast and jam flavoured Yorkshire tea. Okay. So, aircraft status. Check everything's correct with the active flight database. Yes, it is. Alright, let's move to our Init A page. So, Init A, let's pull all the information in there. That's come through very nicely. Let's just change the flight number. Echo Zulu Yankee 34 Alpha Mike. Now, notice the cruise flight. For some reason, SimBrief has given us a cruise flight of 230 today. It is most certainly not. It is 370. If you scroll down the flight plan a little bit more. In fact, you know what? We'll just go flight level 370 and let that calculate the winds that it's got for us, the temperature that it's got for us. So that's fine. Okay. Casper, is this your local airport? Have we got a mod for the airport? We've got the Mako Simulations mod. Check out the video description for the link to that. You'll see it as we taxi off, actually. This looks much better. Toggle Space on Twitch, good morning. The fly-by-wire build, we're on the dev build, and I forgot which one it is. It was a previously unreleased one, although I think following our tests, they may have now merged this with the current dev build. Now that's been done. Parking stands and coordinates. We are at 41 centre. So let's just check this. 41 centre. And 52271 and 144.1. That's very close. Okay, so with that, let's have a look at the flight plan. So planned departure today is runway 15 on the Compton 2 Yankee departure. Let's enter that in. And our planned arrival in Faro is runway 28. I'll go for 28 Zulu for the ILS. And that is the Genro 6 Alpha. There it is. Via Gepti. Insert that, and we'll check how that looks in a moment once the ideas have aligned. And our RadNav page, let's pop in case we need it. We can pop in the VORs at Birmingham. We can put in Compton, and also we can pop in the so Charlie Papa Tango. We pop that in there. We could also pop in Honolulu as well, as we're close to that. Again, just if anything goes wrong, we've got backups then, haven't we? And that's 6 miles away. Okay, very good. So, that's the RadNav page all set up. Let's have a look at our Init B page. Zero fuel weight for the flight is 59.7. And centre of gravity, zero fuel weight centre of gravity, sorry, 30. So fuel planning, it's telling us to use a block fuel of 6.1. We are taking 7.4. We want to avoid that paperwork, don't we, HD? Don't like paperwork. Trip wind of H29. Oh, has it still not pulled the alternate in? Nah. Okay. Back to Init A. Lima Echo Zulu Lima. Where's that? So there's the alternate. And now go to the fuel predicted. There we go. Estimate of fuel on board when we land 1.8 tons. And of course we've then got the alternate. Now as well, that would have made the fuel planning a little bit more accurate. Is the alternate not populated automatically? Oh, fair enough. Well, yes, I suppose they changed, don't they? From flight to flight. Okay. That's looking good. Ryan Sackett, you get live weather in all of the editions. Live weather is built in. Okay, so now let's have a look at our takeoff performance page. Alright, so the transition altitude here at Birmingham, I think, is 6,000 feet. I'll confirm that in a moment. Yep, 6,000 feet. So this then is where it would be nice if you could set the S speed, isn't it? This is what we were talking about yesterday, HD, isn't it? If you could set S speed, or are they automatically calculated and you can't? On takeoff today we do have a speed constraint, 210 knots. Flex temp has been calculated with packs off, anti-ice on, and runways wet. However, looking in the simulator, the runways are actually dry and it is not raining, so let's just recalculate that. Flex temp 65. Okay, let me compute these V speeds and then we'll see if we can edit the S speeds. So on the next page then, HD, we go straight into climb. Should there be one between those or not? Or can you change the managed climb? I'm not sure actually where I'm meant to be looking because it's not something I've had to do before. So if you know or can see anything that we need to do there, HD, please do talk us through that. That's cruise. We don't want cruise. Alright, so whilst HD is just having a look at that. So your pre-selected space. So if we type in 210 there, does that work? Ah. Okay. We'll see what happens on takeoff then now. Let's see if we can hold at 210 knots, right? And whilst at flex temp takeoff. See if it holds at 210 until we tell it otherwise. Then obviously we come back to climb thrust, and if we've got that dialed into the FCU, that should be okay. At least that's the way I understand it. HD will let me know if I'm wrong. Let's have a look now then at our briefing. So we've already spoke a little bit about that speed restriction on takeoff. Macro simulations, good morning, lovely weather today. Yeah, the weather's not as good as it was yesterday. So HD, if you put the S speed in there, into the selected, which is what we have done, the managed speed should be the S speed. Should we set them both to 210? We've got managed at 189 at the moment. That's obviously lower, isn't it, than 210? Which isn't a problem. It's just a max speed restriction of 210 that we've got on departure. So as HD says, you have to go to climb thrust for it to capture the speed, which basically engages the auto thrust. So 3, bring the thrust back to the climb gate as you normally would at thrust reduction. So HD, just confirm something for me. Do we also need to change the managed, which is currently at 189, to 210, or can we just leave selected at 210? Managed speed is a constraint, which is a bug, so that's probably a bug in the coding. That's fine. In that case, we'll leave selected at 210 and we'll see what happens. Okay, so on with this departure briefing then. We've just spoken about the speed restriction on departure. That is in place until passing, dun dun dun, where's my charts? Yeah, so that's in place until we pass the waypoint Bravo Sierra 06, which is only 4 miles out after takeoff. No, it isn't. It's about 6-7 miles out from takeoff. After that, we can go back to normal managed mode and climb up to 250 knots. Minimum safe altitude on departure is 2,500 feet. No turns before 900 feet in the climb. The weather, we know it's windy and it's also gusting, so we're aware of that. However, it's still Cat 1, so if we needed to return, we would be able to. Looking at the landing weight, we are just below the maximum landing weight, so we'd have no issues there. Okay, so that's good. No times HD's already spoken about, and the threats I've just mentioned, the speeds, minimum safe altitudes, things like that. Make sure, however, we climb no higher as well on our departure of 6,000 feet until instructed by air traffic control. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just have a look and check that our flight plan looks as it should. So let's have a look down here. Okay, so straight out departure almost to the south, and then we go head over to the northwest of France and coded nicely in there to Faro. That all looks lovely, doesn't it? Beautiful. So with that in place, let's contact ATC and get our clearance. Birmingham ground is also online at 121.8. So in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact 121.8, and then on the standby we've got the tower, which is 118.3. Pop those in now, we're not faffing around later. Cabin crew fighting with the door as they tend to do. Where's the jetway? Has that disappeared? Oh no, the jetway's still there. Is everyone loaded? Everyone's loaded, so get rid of the jetway. They may close the door a little better now. So HD, would we presumably pop the FCU to 210 knots as well? We just need to be careful though when we pull back the thrust levers to the climb gate. If we are above 210 at that point, the engines are going to roll back on departure, which, as we stated yesterday in our pre-flight briefing, we do not want. Okay, let's give Birmingham a call, see what happens. Birmingham, good morning, Easy34 Alpha Mike as a type A320 Neo stand 41 centre, requesting IFR clearance as filed to Faro, and we have information Golf.
Easy34 Alpha Mike, Birmingham ground, hello, correction, information hotel is current QNH983, clear to Faro, Compton to Yankee, Squawk 4236.
Cleared via the Compton to Yankee departure, Squawk 4236, QNH 983, and we'll check information hotel, Easy34 Alpha Mike.
Easy34 Alpha Mike, feedback correct.
Okay, HT, so we'll just pop that back into managed. When's green dot? That's a good question. How do we find that out? Should that be shown in the FMC? Whilst you just answer that question, let's get the squawk filled in. 4236. 4236. And they give us a QNH of 0983, didn't they? I'm also just going to check the simulator's weather representation of this, just to see how that's working. Okay, HD, I shall do that in a moment, thank you. Weather request, let's do that. Whilst that's coming through, let's look at the performance. So clean is 219. So there's your flaps retraction. So flaps would be 141, slats 183, and we're clean at 219. Let's welcome these passengers on board now, shall we? Now they're all here. They're already annoyed with me because we're late. So we'll maintain config 1F because the green dot is higher by 9 knots. So hopefully this should work. We keep flaps 1 out until passing the constraint. Then we'll clean her up and accelerate to 250 knots.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, good morning, this is your captain speaking, and I'd like to welcome you all aboard this EasyJet A320neo aircraft. We're not expecting any delays, so we should be arriving at our destination on time. The guys on the ground have just finished loading all of your baggage, and the cabin crew are now just making final checks to the aircraft before we get it ready to push back and go. For now though, if you could please get yourself sat comfortably with your seatbelts fastened, we should be ready to depart in just a few minutes. Thank you for choosing to fly with EasyJet today, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Okay, so just running the before start checklist to the line. Cockpit preparation is complete. Signs are on and auto. ADIRS in nav mode. Fuel quantity is checked and balanced. Flight management guidance system is all set. Altimeter we're going to set now. We're just going to double check what the simulator is giving us. See if it matches VATSIM. And that is 983. That does match. There we go. That's set and cross-checked. Beautiful. So there's now we've got light rain, overcast 800 feet. Visibility is 6 kilometers. So we're not going to see very much on takeoff.
37, we're in an A320neo with information hotel. At stand 42 center, requesting IFR clearance to Faro Airport. Easy 1337, Birmingham ground, cleared, Compton to Yankee, squawk 3451.
So we'll just wait for him to get his clearance and then we'll request our pushback.
Yankee, squawk 3451, easy 13 to 7.
Cabin crew, what about
Easy 1337, we got correct.
check? Thank you.
So the flap should retract at 210. And VFE will increase on the PFD. Alright, I'm interested to see if this works and how this is coded. But we need to be aware of what could go wrong. Easy34 Alpha Mike is ready for pushback.
Easy34 Alpha Mike stand 417 to push start, please.
Push and start approved, Easy34 Alpha Mike. Okay, so we now have our pushback clearance. Let's get the beacon lights on. Didn't get the bleed air on. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Okay, beacon light on.
Birmingham ground, Skyways 5556, ready for push and start.
That's the digital flight deck.
Skyways 555.
Flying with us today.
Push and start, please.
Push
Nose
and
and steering disc.
Skyways 5556.
Checked. And acupressure
Speedbird
is in the
464,
green.
ready for push and start.
Transponder on auto.
Speedbird 464, hold position for now.
Thrust levers
See where the EasyJet
idle.
can push.
And let's remove
Yeah,
the...
roger that. We'll wait for the EasyJet.
You will wait for me. Thank you, Nick. Parking brake released. Before start checklist. Windows and doors checked. I saw those were green earlier. Mobile phone off. Parking brake off. Ignition start. And starting engine 1. So let's just come out of here and have a look around this beautiful looking airport as we taxi out. This is what Birmingham should look like. We're all giving the controller here at Birmingham something to do, aren't we?
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors as we review the emergency procedures. There are 6 emergency exits on the aircraft. Take a minute to locate the one closest to you and note that it may be behind you. Count the number of rows to the exit. Should the cabin experience pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this, and pull the strap to tighten it. If you are traveling with children, make sure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing and evacuation, leave your carry-on luggage and items behind.
Pop that parking brake on.
Life rafts are located below your seats and emergency
Engine 1
lighting
stabilised,
will
starting
lead you to
engine
the
2.
closest exit. We ask that you make sure that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety procedures on the card in the pocket in front of you. Thank you for your attention and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Willie, I've only ever been to Birmingham once. No, well, twice. Took off from it, landed at it, never actually saw it. It was that foggy. But if Birmingham's only Cat 1, presumably it can't have been too bad from the flight deck. As a passenger, you didn't see very much. Starting engine 2. I think I've just seen some rain. Oh, look, there we go. Engine 2 stabilized. So engine mode selector norm. APU bleed can come off. Engine anti-ice, wing anti-ice, all the anti-ice on. APU master can come off. Ground spoilers armed. Rudder trim check 0. Flaps 1. And our pitch trim for today is, what's the center of gravity? 296. Ecam status clear and checked. All looks good. Clear to disconnect. After start checklist. Anti-ice is on. Ecam status checked. Pitch trim set. Rudder trim 0. Pitch trim is 0.0. 2. Pushback clear, let's get our taxi
Easy
times.
1337 ready for push and start.
Easy 1337.
HD, I've actually just recalibrated those. Just double check them,
Behind you.
and the takeoff flex temp hasn't changed, according to what I've used anyway. So I did just double check it because it was dry when I initially did the prep. Easy 34 Alpha Mike is ready for taxi.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, taxi by Echo, Delta and Alpha and hold Alpha 1.
Taxi via Echo Delta Alpha, hold at Alpha 1. Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Birmingham Ground Skyways 5556 ready to taxi.
Okay, taxi lights on.
556 will be saying to you by Echo Delta and Alpha to Alpha 1.
Parking brake off.
Echo Delta Alpha Alpha 1 Skyways 5556.
Speedbird 464 behind the EasyJet.
Let's move.
Taxiing from your left will be a straight pushback approved.
Roger, straight pushback approved. Speedbird 464.
An Easy 1337 behind the EasyJet taxiing.
You can see that
from
rain
your right
coming
to
in
left.
now. It's getting stronger, isn't it?
Push and start is approved behind.
Push and start approved behind the EasyJet, Easy 1337.
And all stations information, India is current QNH still 983 hectopascals.
So turning right on to Echo, which is actually straight across here, not going down there, so we're straight across out here. That's good to know, HD. That means we should still get off the ground. This is Echo then. After Echo, we're looking to join Delta, which is at the far end of this taxiway. And at a suitable time, we will just do some more checks before we run the before takeoff checklist to the line. I think the only other traffic here at Birmingham, you're with me in the chat anyway, so when I stop, tough, sorry. So joining here on Delta, holding point Delta 2 should be visible in a moment. Just watching that speed as we make those turns as well. And then we're taxiing down here on the right, which is Alpha. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly hold that here. We do a quick flight control check, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder full right, rudder full left, neutral. And let's go through weather radar and cabin crew. We'll get those dinged. Transponder is on. Auto brake max. TO config. TO memo no blue. Look at that weather radar. Okay, so quick departure brief. Again, performance. There is a performance change. It is now raining. However, we've just done a a check on the calculations for our flex temp takeoff, and it hasn't affected it, so we can leave everything as it was.
Easy 13 to 7, we're ready for taxi.
Engine out procedure, minimum safe altitude 2,500 feet, speed restriction 210 knots on departure. Let's hope that holds. We'll be aware if anything goes wrong in the simulator for that. That will be a simulator error.
Delta Alpha, hold at Alpha 2, easy 13 to 7.
Stop climb of 6,000 feet.
Speed about 464, ready for taxi.
And we'll be looking to return here if anything goes wrong. Thank you, HD. Is that a mini ruler?
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, contact Birmingham Tower 118.3, bye-bye.
118.3, bye-bye, easy 34 Alpha Mike. HD, we've not touched the thrust reduction or acceleration altitudes. Should we have done? If so, we've got time to do that.
464, ready for taxi.
And Speedbird 464 will be following the EasyJet via Echo Delta and Alpha to hold at Alpha 1.
Roger, follow the EasyJet.
Before start checklist to the line,
and hold Alpha 1, Speedbird 464.
flight controls checked, briefing confirmed, flap settings config 1. I'm just checking where we're going here. It's right to the end.
556, contact Birmingham Tower 118.3, bye-bye.
11834, Skyway 5556, goodbye.
And we'll just hold before contacting tower, and we'll check that thrust reduction of 1,300 feet. So let's hold that here. We'll have a look at that. It's got a thrust reduction of 18. Let's see if we can change that, shall we? Yes, we can. Wonderful. Okay, let's tune on to Birmingham Tower. And whilst we're stopped, brake temperature's good, brake fans are off. And let's contact the tower in a moment. Birmingham Tower, good morning. Easy 34 Alpha Mike is taxiing via Alpha to holding point Alpha 1, runway 15.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Birmingham Tower, good morning. This is 190 degrees, 11 knots from A320, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 15. Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Sorry, did I say 33?
No, I think you said 15. That's the one we're going for. Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Okay, sorry, thanks.
Did you say 33? If you did, I didn't notice. I wasn't turning around now, although there is a little turning circle there. That would stuff up all of you guys behind me, right? Yeah, so HD, that was a good spot, obviously. Not done automatically. I presumed it was, so my fault there. The elevation here at takeoff is 300 feet. So add 1,000 to that, we get 1,300 feet. In fact, I know what it's done. It's done it for... Has it done it for 1,500? No, because I thought I'd set that, so it shouldn't have. Oh, let's go to some warmer climates, shall we? Okay, we've got our takeoff and line-up clearance. The approach path is clear. There's the guys behind me. Let's turn on the strobes. Runway turn off lights, taxi lights, landing lights. Packs are off. Engine mode selector normal. Transponder TCAS TARA. We'd already done that. Oh no, we've done the transponder, we haven't done TCAS, which is fine. Anti-ice is on. Packs 1 and 2. Cabin secured for takeoff. Engine mode selector norm. TCAS TARA packs off. Anti-ice on. And HD, regardless of what the flight director does, the nose will be up. We're not going to do what happened yesterday. We will see what happens with the speed though. That will be interesting. Once we take off, I don't think we've actually got any air traffic control. Megabra, you're in Dublin, that doesn't surprise me. This rain's getting heavier. So we do have it quite windy. We'll perform a rolling takeoff.
With you, just taxiing to Alpha 1.
Seabird 464 Birmingham Tower, good morning, roger.
50% N1, set toga. Man flex, SRS and runway. Auto thrust blue.
EG1337 also with you, Alpha 2.
EG1337 Birmingham Tower, good morning, roger. Skyways 5556 Birmingham Tower.
V1 and rotate.
Skyway 5556. Yep, we're holding Alpha 1. Ready to go.
Skyways 5556 Birmingham Tower, hello. Line up from way 15.
Line up and wait 15.
I can certainly feel that wind.
5556.
Climb thrust.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, come on, I see Unicom 122 definitely, good morning.
Over to Unicom now, 34 Alpha Mike. Bye bye. That's holding nicely. Let's turn the packs back on. Just lower the nose a little bit so we continue to climb and gain speed. That has reversed. I'm sure that was in managed mode to begin with, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. If anyone can go back and check that for me. I thought we'd put that into managed mode. That's accelerating away nicely now. So I think that's why we weren't getting we weren't accelerating away. That's S speed, flaps 0.
Skyways 5556, winds 190 degrees, 11 knots from A320, cleared, correction, runway 15, cleared takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Skyway.
We're now well past the speed restrictions anyway, I think.
1337 behind you, departing flight UK Airbus A320 Neo, line up runway 15 behind.
EG1337 line up and wait runway 15.
Actually, no we're not. No we're not. So if we set that... Oh, that jumped. So if we now select that at 210, now we're in the climb thrust, that should just hold it quite nicely at 210 knots. Presumably. Let's turn autopilot 1 on. Now at 6,000 feet with no air traffic control, so I'm going to tell the FCU we can start our climb up to 3.7, and with that, once that's done, let's pull standard pressure. Okay, so now we're in now the other part. So I'm just wait till we get past 10,000 feet, and then I'm just going to go through a couple of things that happened on that departure, because the initial takeoff went well, and then I got confused as the flight display at the FCU speed was in managed mode as we took off. I'm almost certain it wasn't. And then I got confused because I saw the FCU had got 210 there, which I didn't think it had.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now use your electronic devices.
We are past the speed constraint, so we can now go to manage speed, and that'll start to roll the engines up and come away.
Please ask your cabin crew for more information.
Wonder how long this cloud bank will last.
Easy 1337, surface wind from 90 degrees, 11 knots from 815, clear takeoff.
Clear takeoff over 15, easy taking this up.
HD, that's good news. If the aircraft's doing things correctly and it's me that's wrong, that's good.
Line up from 815 behind.
I like it when the aircraft works.
Line up behind the
10,000
EasyJet,
feet,
Big
lights
464.
coming off. Oh, this is taking forever. Come on, turn, 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 turn. There we go. Still a little bit bumpy, so I'm going to leave the cabin crew where they are.
Skyway 5556, climbing south.
Cloud break.
Say again for
Beautiful.
Skyway 5556.
Yeah, that's fine. Skyway 5556, just squawk made Charlie.
Digital flight deck on VPilot next to where it
Squawk,
says...
Charlie, not sure why they didn't catch Skyway 5556.
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't do it all the time anymore.
Unicom 1CC, Dustin Lake, good morning.
228, Skyway 5556, good day.
Good day, Easy 1337, minus Unicom 1CC, Dustin Lake, good morning.
After Unicom for Easy 1337, good day.
Yeah, VPilot messes around like that sometimes. I've had that happen. It should set mode Charlie automatically on departure, because they're not linked to the transponder in the simulator, sadly. Okay, we can release the cabin crew now. So is this what's battering us in the UK at the minute? All these fluffy clouds and rain. Do love how it started to rain whilst we were on the ground at Birmingham. I thought that looked lovely. Sun's in our eyes, which is making the instruments look a little dimmer than normal, even though they're turned up to the max. "20,000 feet to go, and then we will be at our cruising altitude for the flight. Flight time today, 2 hours, 38 minutes. MASH, the primary flight display is the left of the two bigger screens right in front of you. Is the primary flight display not showing anything? Is it turned off? Captain London, typical weather for Birmingham. Yep, good afternoon to you. Hope you've had a good morning so far. Christian, I wonder if there are 40k feet high thunderstorms around the equator. There's only one way to find out, I guess. So HD, whilst this climbs quite nicely, in fact, you know what, during the climb, do you want to have a look at the latest fuel figures? Fuel flow is about a tonne per hour at the moment. .34 kilogram per minute. So Maxime, the ideas are basically 3 gyroscope computers that effectively monitor the aircraft's movements. 3 on board, one for the first officer, one for the captain, and a backup. And they're basically, yeah, 3, almost like 3 gyroscopes that they look after and what's the word I'm looking for? They look after the tilts, left, right, forward, back, up, down. Monitor, that's the word. They basically monitor how the aircraft is moving so as to interpret where the aircraft is and provide the instruments on the displays, provide the displays with the information in front of you. Attitude, that's one of the other words I was looking for. Thank you, HD. So HD, what should we be seeing in the climb at this stage fuel wise? We're burning slightly over a tonne at the moment. Nick, you're back with us now. Hope you had a good takeoff. 24,000 feet. Yep, Christian, that is very, very important. No movement of the aircraft whilst the ideas are aligning. Oh yeah, so we're at least a tonne off, aren't we? On average. We're not really that heavy, I don't think, either today. Three tonnes from push to top of climb. Well, what did we start with? We started with just under 7.5 tonnes. We've now got 6.8. And 13,000 feet to go. Leonard, I can't recommend flightsim.to enough. I would much rather get a few individual liveries rather than 7,000 in a livery megapack. I know it may populate your simulator and make it look pretty, but that is a lot of rubbish sat in your flight sim that you're probably not going to use. I think we can get rid of the anti-ice now. It just feels so immersive when you've left that dark, damp Birmingham. That's no reflection on Birmingham, by the way, that's just the UK in general, I think. But you leave the cold, dark, damp airfield below the clouds and suddenly you come above them and everything's bright and nice again. That was subtle, HD. Your cabin crew, I released you a while ago. I need a tea.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve our drink selection, including tea, coffee and cold beverages. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. As this is a paid-for service, please consider tipping your cabin crew with
Eco
tips.
traffic, Super 3582, pushing back, stand 532.
Who was that?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, we're on Unicom, aren't we? That's fine.
so you are free to move about the cabin.
I thought for a moment there was an air traffic controller on board.
We do recommend you
Well,
fasten your seat
don't
belts
think
at
so.
all times when you are seated in case of turbulence.
It doesn't matter if the anti-ice is on, it's still going to wreck my paintwork, isn't it? Look at that. Oh well. Let's stay in the flight deck until we're at our cruise altitude, shall we? 7,000 feet to go. So what HD was referring to earlier in the NOTAMs, it actually only applied to runway 33, but it has been downgraded to a Cat 1. Presumably they might be doing works, or there could be, I don't know, construction taking place on the flight path that doesn't make it quite as accurate. HD, I think that's a reflection. It does look a bit like a contrail, doesn't it? I think it's a reflection off the glare shield. Digital flight deck, everyone is a generic aircraft for me. Scandi 941, good morning, sir. Where are you flying to today? Christian, that's what keeps HD going while he's not flying. He's flexing his piloting muscles with us guys. Ask your questions. Believe me, I do. Nick, that'd be great to see in the Discord. Thank you. I look forward to that. What I would actually like to do is I would just like to download a certain few liveries, just the European ones, so big ones, you know, your Lufthansa, Aer Lingus, obviously EasyJet, British Airways, just 7 or 8 of the top airlines, and have those working in VATSIM. I think that would make it much more realistic, but I have no idea how you make those match up with the aircraft in the simulator for model matching. So if anyone wants to talk us through that on the Discord channel, please do. I don't think I've ever seen that, Christian. Deactivate the anti-skid before pushback. I was of the mindset that that was always on, but HD will answer, I'm sure. Unless he's no idea either, because he's never seen it. So looking at the weather charts for this flight, you'd got icing and turbulence up to 16,000 feet, more or less the entire way across our flight today. HD, you're trying hard not to forget things. We're doing what we can to help. Shouldn't have too many issues with jet streams or anything like that, although there is one right above Faro at about 28,000 feet. By that point, though, of course, we should be much lower. The weather, I'm going to get those in a minute anyway. Let's just reach our cruise altitude and then we'll have a look at some weathers, see what is what. So here's our cruising altitude reached now. Engines rolling back. Someone's got an open mic. Or not an open mic, but they keep pressing the push to talk button. I'm presuming it's not one of you guys. Okay, so now we're at the cruise altitude. Let's just do a couple of checks. Let's see what the electrics page has for us today, shall we? Battery 1 off, battery 2 off, and APU generator 1 is off as well. Of course it is. The SAT is minus 67. That's close. We may need to, well, we will need to keep an eye on that. If that starts to drop any more, we'll consider lowering the altitude. APU is off. 23 degrees in the cabin. Hope everybody is warm enough. My chat window's just crashed. So if you're talking to me, I apologise. I'm completely ignoring you because I've no idea what you're saying. We'll get some en route weathers as well in a moment, while I try and fix this. Once I've done that, I'm going to disappear off the microphone as normal and go and reheat my tea. The chat room's crashed on the other computer. I'm guessing something's gone wrong with the internet. That'll mean one of the kids has just turned on homeschooling or Peppa Pig. Oh, that's not working. 4,910 subscribers. We are so close to passing that 5,000 mark, aren't we? That is amazing, guys. Thank you, each and every one of you. Really, really amazing. Someone on the Unicom has got one of those buttons assigned to push to talk. They're probably scrolling around having a look at the nice scenery and at the same time pressing the push to talk button. Ignore that chest clip, fair enough. Good morning, Patrick. Right, shall we have a look what's happening around the world? Well, around Europe. Let's have a look at what weathers we've got to look forward to, shall we? Let's see. So, where shall we go for? Where shall we have a look at? I like some of the closer airfields, really. Echo, Golf, Kilo, Kilo. See what's happening at Gatwick. It's okay. I'm just having to do something else on the other computer as well at the minute. Okay. What other weathers should we have a little look at? Lima Fox, Romeo November. And that's as much as we can get for now. Get those sent. And Lima Fox, Romeo Sierra. We'll have a look at that as well in a moment, HD. Well, the internet access on my other PC has just died. Thankfully, I don't think it's affected this one, has it? No, we've still got a good stream rate, so that's okay. Lunchtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve our lunch menu. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. If you would like to upgrade your meal to the premium package, please pay the cabin crew using stickers or super chats to help support the channel. Thank you.
Don't know if you guys can hear my other PC dinging away in the background, going ding ding ding. This isn't working. And it's that PC I actually use for the messages with you guys. So let me also get the weather for Nantes. Lima Fox Romeo Sierra. Lima Fox Romeo Sierra. Pop that in there. Send that. Blaster Kid, London Controls online, is it? They've not spoke to me yet. We'll dial them in. What is it, 1271? They probably don't want to talk to me. Do you know, I should be able to scroll all the way up. I don't know if I can. Make it quicker. Oh, I can. I didn't think I could. That's quite nice. 127.1.
Alpha arrival.
Lima Fox Bravo Delta, thank you, HD.
Allegiant 38, correction, Allegiant 3286, London Control.
So ignore the first two, that's Birmingham. Faro when we get there, 16 knot wind. Other than that, weather looks quite nice.
London Control, Speedbird 498.
Gatwick looks rubbish. Rain, 4 kilometres visibility.
Speedbird 498, requesting our clearance to Zurich.
Speedbird 498, I don't control London Heathrow, 1 Unicom 122, that's right. Oh, hang on.
And what else have we got?
Oh, Speedbird 498, my apologies. Cleared to Zurich. Cowley 2 Yankee
Overcast 5,000 feet, temporarily gusting 35. Well, that sounds horrible as well, doesn't it? Oh, the winds.
Zurich with the Cowley 2 Yankee departure, squawking 7325, Speedbird 498.
498, correct. Break Chanix 946, descend flight level 200 to be level by Elvos.
Okay, well, weather's pretty rubbish everywhere. Let's hope we don't have a problem. Did I miss one of those weathers? I've still got a company message being displayed.
Chanix 946, descend flight level 200 to be level by Elvos.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, Bordeaux looks alright. Ceiling and visibility, oh that's my choice. If I had to do anything, the weather looks good. No winds, decent visibility, no gusts.
London Control, good day, Yankee Mike Sierra Papa, confirm London City is on your coverage.
Negative, depart with Unicom 122.8.
Roger, Unicom, Yankee Mike Sierra, Papa.
Yeah, HD. Bodo's looking like the Stark choice if we had to do anything.
6 with you, flight level 370.
Skyrage 5556, London Control, you're outside my airspace. Unicom 122.8. Bye-bye.
That's why London Control Centre's not contacted us, it's because it's London Control Centre. Don't believe we're in his airspace.
With 2879 routes direct Abbott, descend flight level 0.
So that's absolutely fine. Don't need to worry about them.
With 2879, it'll be vectoring for an ILS approach.
Okay guys, I'm going to come off the microphone now. I'm going to go reheat my tea, maybe grab a sandwich as well.
Correction, it'll be vectoring for an ILS approach from the 25 at least.
I'll pop the chat window back on so you guys can just enjoy the view. I will be back with you on the microphone for our descent into Faro. And I will be with you in the chat room for the duration of the flight. Thank you for joining me, and I shall speak to you very soon.
London Control.
London Control, Speedbird 498, requesting a push start.
Speedbird 498, push and start approved.
What's it that, Speedbird 498?
Channel 946, squawk 2334. With 28 Foxtrot, London Control.
Is that 2879er?
With 2879er, London.
Is that 2879er? Go ahead.
Yep, you called me.
Negative, sir.
Sorry, my apologies, that was from another company aircraft. With 28 Foxtrot, London Control. Chisel to Quebec, it's a Dane 2 Alpha arrival.
Dane 2 Alpha, thank you, Shock to Quebec. London Spirit 16 Alpha, Logan 2 Hotel, 777 to 300 for level 30.
Speedbird 16 Alpha, London Control, hello, squawk 0223.
0223, Spirit 16 Alpha. London, a very good day. Every flight 57 Lima Tango, flight level 190.
7 Lima Tango, London Control, hello, squawk 70.
7017, every 57 Lima Tango.
London Control, this is an Air 450, do you need contact?
50 negative.
Continue with Unicom 122.8, thank you.
With 28 Foxtrot, London Control.
London Centre, Skyways 261 is at 7,000 feet.
Skyways 261, London Control, hello, climb now, flight level 310.
Climb to flight level 310, Skyways 261.
Canex 946, report your speed into the descent. Speedbird 16 Alpha, when ready, descend to flight level 250 to be level by Logan.
250 to be level by Logan, Speed 16 Alpha.
Center, hello, Wizz Air 28 Foxtrot at flight level 200, descending 9000.
Wizz Air 28 Foxtrot, London Control, hello. Descend flight level 140.
Descent 140, Wizz Air 28 Foxtrot.
Skyways 261, route direct pickup, correction, picks up and reports your passing level.
Director picks up and report level 1 there.
Air 57 Lima Tango, requesting descent. Air 15 Lima Tango, descend flight level 150.
Total 150, Air 57 Lima Tango.
And Skyways 261, I need you to report the level you're passing. What altitude are you passing right now?
London Control, 498 requesting taxi, 5 minutes.
498 taxi, holding point, actually stand by 2 minutes. Super 498 taxi, holding point, runway 15, I can't remember which end it is, I think it's Alpha 1.
Taxi to runway 15, holding point Alpha 1, Fever 498.
Taxi. With Air 28 Foxtrot, continue present heading.
Continue present heading, Wizz Air 28 Foxtrot.
Shuttle T, Quebec, speed 270 knots or less.
Roger, 270 or less, Shuttle T, Quebec.
And every Air 57 Lima Tango, descend flight level 110, clear to leave controlled airspace on via descent flight level, actually, just descend flight level 110.
Roger, descend flight level 110, every Air 57 Lima Tango.
London Control, Fibber 845 with you at flight level 370.
Fibber 845, London Control, hello. Question, is the District 1 Golf arrival?
District 1 Golf arrival, Fibber 845.
And Shuttle to Quebec, I'm trying to get the aircraft in front to keep a constant speed, but he seems to be struggling, but you're out of my airspace now anyway, so you can continue with Unicom 122 that's way.
Okay, yeah, no worries, we'll keep an eye on it anyway, just in case, but switching over to Unicom, Shuttle to Quebec, thank you.
Canex 946, Mons Unicom 122 that's way, bye bye. With Air 2879, leave Abbott, heading 275.
Leaving Abbott, heading 275 is Air 2879.
With Air 28 Foxtrot, descend flight level 8, correction, yeah, descend flight level 80.
Flight level 80, Wizz Air 28 Foxtrot.
Lufthansa 4221 Unicom 122, that's way, bye bye. Over 57 Lima Tango, cleared to leave controlled airspace on your present track, descending flight level 110.
We're cleared to leave controlled airspace on the current track, descending to flight level 110, over 57 Lima Tango.
Under control, Seagull 4 next to Alpha 1, holding runway 95
Super Grid 498, runway 15, cleared for takeoff, stiff between 190 degrees, 12 knots.
Super takeoff on runway 15,
Over 57 Lima Tango, leave controlled airspace. It's a deconfliction service, no known traffic.
Roger, deconfliction service, over 57 Lima Tango.
Visa 2879, ready for further descent.
With 2879, maintain flight level 90.
Maintaining 90, Visa 2879.
With 28 Foxtrot to the left, heading 280 degrees. You'll be vectoring for 1 hour left approach for May 25.
280.
F57 Lima Tango, you cleared flight level 110, sir.
Roger, I'll just climb back up then. 57 Lima Tango.
Tell you what, I'll give you further descend flight level 70.
Roger, 70.
We've got 845. When ready, descend flight level 200, level by dispatch.
When ready, descend flight level 200, level by dispatch. Seabird April 5.
With 28 Foxtrot, descend to altitude 6,000 feet, looping QNH, liner 87 hectopascal.
9078, descending 6000.
With 28 Foxtrot negative, QNH liner 87 hectopascal.
987.
London Control, very good afternoon. Eurowings 2105 with you, currently descending through flight level 255, inbound waypoint Ghibli.
Eurowings 205 London Control, hello, 40352, stop descent flight level 250.
Squawk 0352 and stop descending at flight level 250, Eurowings 2105.
Austin, 4,000 feet now.
That's heading to 3,000 feet.
150.
A2, 3,000 feet.
150 and 2000 feet. Okay, it's good.
With 2879, descend to altitude 6,000 feet, 28987 hectopascal, descend to the left is 270 degrees.
Turning left, heading 270 degrees, descending 6,000
Beavis 1, 6 hours to 10, pilot 160 to 11 by Saber.
160 level by Saber, 0160, that one.
With Troy, Foxtrot, middle, way around, 680 degrees, cleared IS approach,
280 and clear approach, runway 25.
London Control, Alpha 010 with you.
I've got 010, London Control, low, climb now, flight level 370. Did you get redirect to Redford by the previous controller?
I went on to Unicom after the previous.
selection of alcoholic drinks including wine and locally sourced ales. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. This is a paid-for service, so please consider tipping the cabin crew and the channel using stickers or super chats. Thank you. cable is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. This is a paid-for service, so please consider tipping the cabin crew and the channel using stickers or super chats. Thank you.
Hey guys, so back with you now after just completing my approach briefing to myself, which I will go through with you in a moment. But we're very close to our top of descent now, which will start about 150 miles from the waypoint Gebti to be level at 3,000 feet by Gebti. Yeah, so yeah, HD, the fuel on board is fine. I'm not concerned about that. It would be very strange for this aircraft to run out of fuel, wouldn't it? That certainly doesn't happen very often. So that's good. Alright, so let's have a quick look at our approach. Transition altitude 4,000 feet. Minimum safe altitude is 3,500 feet. Our platform approach for this is 2,000 feet. Minimum descent altitude 218 feet, 218. Touchdown is 18 feet, so we're almost at sea level for that. And a missed approach altitude of 3,000 feet. You've been messaging me, HD. I've not seen that. Do you know I've got a problem with my phone? The backlight on it's gone. So it occasionally comes on, occasionally doesn't, which basically means that I can't see anything, in short. So unless I'm on the laptop, I'm struggling to get the messages through on there. So quick calculation, SAMC is how many feet you want to lose, divide by 1,000, multiply by 3. So, oh HD, I see that now. Wow, that is brief. Another reason why you love Faro. There's nothing much to worry about, is there? Just quickly reading through that, see if there's anything I need to be aware of. Wow, that really is Category A. We like Category A's, there's nothing wrong with them. So top of descent will start very shortly. I'm just going to initiate that and then I will go through the flight plan approach. But the important thing to remember at the moment is it's an ILS approach, runway 28, ILS Zulu. Gebti 3,000 feet. Once passing that, descend to 2,000 feet for the platform altitude, or we'll capture the glide slope as well as we turn to intercept the localizer. There are speed restrictions, however. After passing 7,000 feet, no faster than 220 knots. 4,000 feet, 200 knots. So let's begin our descent now, all the way down to 3,000 feet. Normally we'd do this in managed descent in the real aircraft, but that doesn't work. Roll the speed back and set 1,700 feet per minute for our descent. I imagine HD, the ATC are very happy at the moment, particularly considering there's no other aircraft around. So I'll go through the flight plan as well with you guys in a moment. Weather is good, decent length runway as well. We could go auto brake low if need be. HD, what would you do? Would you bother with the low, or would you say that's long enough? We shouldn't have any issues with that. Whilst HD replies to that, let's just have a look at the coding in the flight plan. I've already done this, but we'll check. So let's go to flight plan, turn the constraints on. Let's zoom in. So there we go, there's Genro. After Genro, it's FR 607. And then Gebti, that's where we want to be at 3,000 feet for. From there, we turn to intercept the localizer while descending to 2,000 feet. And then we pick up the glide slope and the ILS. It is very, very simple. And then the rapid speed taxiway after we land is Romeo Golf. If you have the charts. The terminal, etc., is to the right. Very windy at the moment. We did say once we'd reached the cruise, just looking at the weather, that there is a jet stream from the west, and I think that's at about 28,000 feet, so we're probably going to pass through that. Well, we are passing through bits of that at the moment. As you can see, it's 95 knots at 271. Let's see if there's any air traffic control online as well, shall we? There is at Porto, but we're not going to Porto, so that won't affect us one bit. Yorkshire Port 63, the thrusters dropped because we're descending. Gravity is now playing its part.
Skyway 5556, leaving flight level 370 for 4,000, and the General 6A arrival into Faro.
And that's Digital Flight Deck, who's been with us for the flight. I think this is the first flight he's joined us for, so that's quite neat. This may become one of my new favourite routes, or certainly new favourite airports to come into. I can't recall if I've been here before in the simulator. I don't think I have. It's not a modded airfield either, so it will just be default. Let's just check the RadNav page is all as we would expect it to be. 109.5 for the ILS approach, and is that correct? Yep, 109.5. That's good. We can also key in the Faro VOR as well, which is Victor Foxtrot Alpha. Victor Foxtrot Alpha. And if we flick that on, it just gives us
Easy 1337.
Distance from there. So 88 miles away.
6 Alpha approach for Faro.
Going to roll that Mach number right back, and then it will become knots as we pass flight level 250. $4,000 at Zen at Genro. Wonderful, thank you. That's the minimum hold altitude as well. I can see that on the charts. And yeah, from from all the other waypoints. Where have we come from? Actually, I can't remember which waypoint we've come from. Just looking at the route that we've taken in. Are we coming from Alagu? Alagu? Where's that from? We could actually HD just to make sure of that. We could probably do with setting that to 4,000. QNH1012, we can pop that in as well now. That's much higher than it was back in the UK, isn't it? H&M, when do I know when to descend? I basically use the charts to work out what altitude I need to be at and when, and then check out the video, which basically is called "When Do You Descend?" Just pop a link to the tutorials there. That should come up for you. Leonard, you stopped to refuel on the way to Lanzarote? Wow. Lanzarote's not that far away. Where were you flying? I don't think there's anything else I need to go over for this approach. It really is very simple. 4,000 at General, 3,000 at Gebti, continue down to 2,000 the platform altitude. We do have speed restrictions there, but as HD has given us insider knowledge, they're not normally too strict on those. And pro tips again from HD for the landing, because we've got the wind coming in from the left, so squeeze that rudder to the right and the flare to line us up on the centre line, and a bit of bank if necessary. I can start to see now, HD, why you like Faro. It must come to the point where it's you really don't have to think too much, which is nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit, we're began our descent into our destination. We're not expecting any air traffic control delays, so we should have you on the ground shortly. If you could now please assist the captain crew by tightening your tray tables and having the many litter as they cover around, it would be much appreciated, and make sure to fully fasten your seatbelts. For safety reasons, please turn off any electronic devices you have, or switch airplane mode on your below mode. Please note the aircraft toilets will also shortly go out of use. Thank you, and we'll see you on the ground shortly.
Probably a much bigger threat to us than any weather that we're going to encounter here, aside from the wind, but that's not shown with the weather radar. So we do have a slight crosswind, not as bad as yesterday, thank goodness. Good old Thomas Cook. Let's get those spoilers out and look after our speed a little bit, shall we? "56 miles out. The plane hired was a Latvian airline. Which airline was that? I consider myself quite well versed on airlines of the world, but I actually couldn't tell you who the official airline of Latvia is. Is there a Latvian Air? Something like that? Oh, breaking the clouds. This is much better than Birmingham, isn't it, guys? Okay, let's get the chat off the screen as well. Doesn't matter how warm it gets, we're always going to have ice on the airframe. Never mind. Eight hours delay in Lanzarote. Oh dear. Few clouds to fly through. Just pop the ice on as we start to get through those. Not very many though. This looks like a beautiful day. Even the spinners are iced. Yeah, it's certainly overdone. And if you're going to overdo it, you might as well go the whole way. Eddie, I'm glad you come in the chat, mate. I've not received an email from you. Can you check that you sent the email to the correct address? Easyjetsimpilot@gmail.com. Still waiting to give you your prize after yesterday. So it's not come through, and I've checked all the junk spam folders. You're not in there. So please do resend me that email. Don't want you to miss out on the wonderful Birmingham airport that we visited. "45 miles out." Just increase that rate of descent a little bit. I think we're probably a little bit above our profile at the moment. Thank you, Eddie. So easyjetsimpilot@gmail.com. It'd be very strange if that didn't come through. Definitely do send it again. Profile actually looks fine now. Seatbelt signs are on. Cabin crew are preparing the cabin for landing. Approach checklist, minimum set. Engine mode select normal. And our electronic flight bag is all set as well. Oh, Eddie, did autocorrect mess you up? Fair enough. Resend that and we'll get you sorted. I don't think there's any part of an aircraft that's cheap, is there? I bet even things like the seat belts or something like that would be a ridiculous price. Oh, HD. How much paperwork did that incur? Would hate to be those pilots. Faro traffic easy 34 Alpha Mike inbound on the Genero 6 Alpha. Arrival 36 miles to the north of the field. The pilots and the crew were sacked. When you say crew, surely not the cabin crew. Was it not their fault, was it? Langling lights on. Blasted kid, you've got school in 15 minutes. Aren't you flying with us? Where are you? Oh, pilots and crew are cheap. Fair enough.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
I don't know about you, but I've really enjoyed this flight and really enjoying this approach. Eddie, is Portugal your home country, my friend? Oh, which airport's your biggest international then? Blaster kid, you're going to land while in class. I hope you don't have to be on webcam at the same time.
Faro traffic, Skyways 5556, 32 miles to the north, inbound for the Genero 6A Arrival, Faro.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please make sure you are seated with your belts fastened, and your trays in the upright position. Any items should be safely stored, and remember to turn off all electronic devices until after landing. Thank you.
Faro traffic, EC1337, inbound for the Genro 6 Alpha, approach 32 miles north of the field. Faro traffic.
Okay, so I've just entered the approach mode and approach phase, sorry. Speed back to managed.
Faro traffic, speed about 464, 28 miles from the Genro 6 Alpha arrival.
26 miles from the start of the arrival. We're currently 27 miles from the field. Smartlinks was the airline. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, sorry, from the start of the approach, the start.
Oh, that's good. If you were 28 miles from the airfield, I was about to look out the window and wave to you. So how much fuel we got left on board? 3.2 tons. No paperwork involved for that, and we're certainly not overweight. So this was a fuel profile of, what did I say? Was it 20 I think I went for this? Six miles from Genro, and then about 14 miles it is to Gepti. I think we might stick now with minus 20 in the fuel performance. That seems to work well. Of course, the way SimBrief works it is it's a percentage, so if we are obviously doing a much longer flight, then it affects it differently. Eddie, once we've landed, I'll check that email's come through again, my friend. Make sure that's there. I enjoyed the Funchal flight. Funchal, putting the fun in Funchal. That was nice. I can't imagine doing a community flight there. All hell would break loose. Several aircraft smashing into the side of the island. Blasted kid, you're about to overfly me. Don't do that. We can start a steady descent now to 3,000 feet. Into the hold. Yeah, where's the holding point? That's at Genero, isn't it? The hold. Quick look outside. Oh, that's nice. We'll get to see in a moment, HD. You can tell us how realistic it looks. You've done it in real life several times, and it's your favourite. You probably recognise it quite well, so you can tell us what you think. A sandy white beach down there. put the landing gear down, blasted. That'll help. Okay, the ice can come off as well now. Right hand turn now, direct to Gepti.
Faro traffic, Skyways 5556, reducing speed for spacing.
HD, do you know what you're going to have to do if possible? Once the world gets you back in the air, you have to do your best, see what sort of pics you can get for us. See if we can then mimic them in the sim. Sadly, you won't be able to do that while approaching an airfield, understandably. So we're 16 miles out.
Speed 464, just passing over January.
Flaps 1.
Speed 464, just passing January.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
54 times HD, wow. Blaster Kid, hold up, just perform a manual hold. Or...
Faro traffic, Skyways 5556, passing Genru, and reducing speed for spacing.
Yeah, you could just do a random hold over the ocean. So right turn in a minute, and we are more or less then in line with the localizer. We're already below the glide slope, so we may as well hold at 3,000 feet. Until that starts to come into play. Just keeping an eye on that localizer. I want to look outside, but just keep an eye on the localizer for that. Beautiful visibility. Headwind at the moment. Just realised now, just because it was quite close, we've actually... The autopilot's gone and done its usual trick of going direct to the ILS threshold. So guys, just be aware that may happen. Descending now 2,000 feet. Yeah, because the routing looked almost like a direct anyway. Just needed to be aware the aircraft went into the good old what's it doing mode. We're now in selected heading mode anyway. Pick up the localizer in a moment. There's the localizer moving in, so approach mode on. Glide slope green, localizer green.
Faro traffic, Skyways 5556, passing Foxtrot Romeo 607.
Faro traffic easy 34 Alpha Mike, establishing runway 28 at 8 miles. This does look nice. Liking the look of the scenery here. Glide slope alive. Flaps 2.
Faro traffic, speedbird 464, be aware we just lost the direction. We're now heading again back to Golf Echo Bravo Tango India.
Oh dear, yeah, that will happen. Radio altimeter is alive. Flaps 2, 6 miles out. Landing gears coming down. Ground spoilers armed.
Yeah, roger, Speedbird. Can you keep your speed up? I'm not that far behind you now.
No problem, we'll increase speed now for you.
Dingler cabin in here as well, which we have to do. And there's the airfield. At the moment, let's go flaps full. Couldn't actually see the airfield for a little while there. Just blended into the scenery. So there's that wind. It's almost a headwind now. Landing checklist. Cabin secured. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around. Altitude is set. ECAM memo. Landing no blue. And yeah, HD, thank you. Auto brake low. One last quick look outside. And then let's get the autopilot off and hopefully bring her in nicely. Autopilot off. Can feel her rocking somewhat, but not having to put too much correction on there.
Faro traffic, speedbird 464, we'll go 180 to 5 DME.
Just watching that wind as well. Just lost that centre line, so let's get that back on quickly. Oh, you can feel that. Small corrections, that's looking a lot better. Let's see how it handles when we touch down, shall we? Little to the right of the centre line. Reverse on. Fighting to gain that centre line control again though. Reverse is off. Now that's interesting. Just as an experiment, do you see me rolling then all the way over to the right of the runway? I let go of the rudder. So what looked to me to be nicely lined up, I'm now, as you can see, we're moving all the way to the right. That's not me doing that. My hand came off the stick for that. So there's definitely some rudder problems, isn't there? Anyway, let's vacate.
You are reminded to keep all electronic devices switched off until you have entered the airport terminal. Thank you for flying with EasyJet.
Faro traffic runway 28 vacated. So I'm just going to turn around and see who's coming on the approach behind us, then we'll stop and configure the aircraft, tidy her up. Okay, so TCAS off, weather radar off.
Faro traffic, we are now 4 DME.
Hope you have a better landing than I did, Nick.
Faro traffic, Skyway is 5556, 8 miles out, and established on final runway 28, Faro.
I know, Christian. Literally, I let go of the side stick when we were on the centre line, and we just continued to roll well off the centre line. I don't know, actually. Let's go to the flight controls here. See, that's showing dead centred, isn't it now? I might have to do some experimenting, you know. Okay, where are we going, HD, did you say? What stand number was that? Let's get some ground charts up, shall we? 4 something something. Oh, 316. Thank you, 316. Oh, I like 316. It's right in front of the terminal. Can we see any of our friends on final yet? First left onto Alpha. Darks. PC was about 750 Great British Pounds. Here it is. Is that Nick that's just coming in there?
Traffic, Easy 1337 on established on localizer runway 28, about 8 miles out.
Just watch Nick's landing as we make this turn. No pressure, Nick. That looked good from here anyway. Don't know what it was like for you. We can't tell if you're on the centre line. But there he is. Very nice. Dennis, sadly, no return trip. Not today. But we will be leaving Faro for our next flight. We like to do things and make them continuous. Where's all the bizjets? Yeah, should they be parked here? I don't have static ground on, actually.
Speedbird 464 vacated.
So there's
Nick. Yeah, it wasn't bad going.
Shame we couldn't see it, my friend. Okay, so, do you know what? I would imagine this 314... That would be 212, wouldn't it? 314 will be here with the jetway. Weather's a little bit different here than it was in Birmingham, wasn't it? Oh, Eddie, I pronounce it the Egyptian way. Faro.
Easy 1337 on a 5-mile final for runway 28 Faro trap.
And parking brake is on. Not a single engine taxi in. I don't need to worry about that. APU is on and running, so we can shut down both engines. Shutting down engine 1. I'm sure a mod will come at some point, Eddie. The flight sim community is really cracking on with lots of mods for this.
Skyway 5556 is clear runway 28.
Oh, we missed a landing there, unfortunately. Didn't get to see that one because I was taxiing in. Okay, so we'll get the jetway connected, we'll release the passengers, etc, etc. Beacon light can come off now as well. Is the jetway coming? Here it comes. And there's our passengers deboarding. Check our brake temperatures as well, see what they're showing to be after the landing. 115 degrees, that's within limits. Okay guys, that is us done. In real life, of course, we would be making the return journey now back to Birmingham. Well, depending on what the weather's doing. I have no idea what the weather is doing now in Birmingham. I can't imagine it to be any worse than what it was. 3 tons of fuel remaining for the landing, so that's pretty good. Set the transponder to standby. And here's the convoy of aircraft that came with me. So who did we have today? We had Blasted Kid, we had Nick, we had Digital Flight Deck. Yeah, I need to get some liveries for model matching, isn't it? I have seen a message on Discord, so I'm going to see what I can do with that. And then next time I get some time. No, Dennis, this was not the experimental. Although, I may move over to that because I do think the rudder behaves a lot more on landing. I might have to do some challenges offline, set some crosswind landings up, check out the fly-by-wire experimental version, and see how that goes. Okay, guys.
Faro traffic, Easy 1337, vacated runway 28. Faro traffic.
Alright, guys, that is me done for this afternoon. Probably done for the day, actually. So, there's no stream during the day tomorrow or on Friday. It's homeschooling for me. Guess which of the two I would rather be doing. However, if we can get on in the evenings and do a flight, we will. We've got a very special flight coming up that I want to get done as soon as possible, but I'll talk us through that when we get there. Thank you to everyone who's enjoyed the stream and watched throughout from Birmingham this morning. Thank you to all the subscribers of the stream. We're getting close to 5,000, aren't we? So if you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button and like the video. Thank you to all the contributors and the donators of the stream. Get yourself on the Discord as well. As always, thanks to HD for providing us with the real world insights. And yeah, I now have to agree with HD. This is a beautiful airport to land at, as we don't have to think about too much. Goodbye everyone, I shall see you all again very soon. Thank you to all that flew with me as well. Bye bye.